Welcome to TimSold Talks. Join us as we dive into all things real estate, talk about business, food, cars, and much more with industry experts. Dream it, believe it, achieve it. Welcome back to another episode of TimSold Talks. Very, very honored to have Herbie Kuhn here join us for this podcast and episode and tell us about everything he's been doing.
Everything
you've been doing.
We don't have that much time, Tim.
We'll cut and paste. But before I begin, I just need to give a quick shout out to our food sponsors today, Edible Popcorn. There are local homegrown success stories that happened in the last few years. Some of their accolades include being presented at the Oscars and the goodie bags for all the celebrities to try. They've got some major movie network deals, partnerships for that. So very honored to have a partnership with them, and they're sponsoring our podcast. And please give them a try and let me know what you think.
They got into the Oscar grab bags, did they?
Yep, they were.
That's got to be impressive right there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's so Herbie spilling it all over the place. How's that for authentic TV right there?
It's like Cookie Monster, you just go in there.
Cookie, popcorn.
We do have a promo code. It's really good, right?
Stuff, yeah.
This is the whiskey on the pops, their original flavor.
All
The one that made them ascend to the throne. But for our listeners that want to get into this, we do have a TimSold promo code there. So go into the website, enter TimSold, and you'll get yourself a healthy discount off of that. So
wow,
what do you think of them? What do you think? Amazing, right? Just off the charts.
I will come back for more. How about that?
Come onto a process anytime.
Absolutely. These bags that are behind me. Just watch. Be careful at the end of the podcast. They might not be there anymore.
Okay. For those of us that don't know, or for those of our audience that don't know who Herbie is, maybe you can give us a quick introduction about yourself.
Well, Tim, who I am.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm a child of God.
Yep. Amen to that.
I am a husband. My beautiful wife, Stephanie, to whom I've been married for nearly 28 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
And I am a father. Father to our wonderful teenage son who is 18 years old. That is who I am. I'm a child of God. I'm a husband, and I'm a dad. Not to be mixed up with what I do. What I do, what people do, what their calling is, what their vocation is, often can get mixed up with your personal identity. And I choose not to subscribe to that, because if your calling or your job changes, then who are you, right?
Identity change.
So that's who I am. What do I do? By God's grace, I have the honor of serving as a full-time commissioned staff member of Power to Change Ministries.
Nice.
And under the umbrella of Power to Change, working with Athletes in Action Canada in the Pro Sports Ministry division. And I am blessed, so blessed, to serve as the lead chaplain for the defending 2024 Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts. Co-chaplain, along with my wonderful, blessed colleague, Steve Kearns, who I love dearly, co-chaplain for the Toronto Raptors, as well as Toronto FC. So there you go. That's my full-time job.
That's your full-time gig,
And there's this other thing that I do occasionally, 6 to 7 months a year or so, something to do with announcing, something to do with public address announcing for basketball. I get reasonably well. I'm reasonably well known for that, as well as the in-house voice of your Toronto Raptors. You got it. You got it. And you know what? Been doing that for 30 years, man.
Oh my goodness.
30 years since the team's inception in 1995.
Crazy.
I have had the blessing, the privilege of I love sports. I love sports. I the thought of being paid to be at a professional sports event is really still foreign after 3 decades, but I get to do that. And it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. I enjoy it so much.
No, that's amazing to hear. In 3 decades, that's longer than all the professional athletes we know, right?
Absolutely. It's weird when you've been announcing for longer than most of the athletes on the court have been alive. You've been at it for a while. When? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, maybe let's begin with that. You said you've been announcer for them you were the first one there, right?
Yeah.
And, how did you get into that? Firstly, did you have a background in broadcasting?
I started announcing as a part-time job in college, actually. I attended a school called Vanier College in Saint Laurent, Quebec, Montreal. And football was my first sport when I was asked to announce a school football game behind the stadium behind the school one September Saturday back in 1992. I said yes. They
Yeah.
offered me $20. I said, sure, I'll do it. And then that went well. That led to basketball at Vanier. And Vanier at that time had 4 basketball teams.
Whoa.
They had men's and women's AA and men's and women's AAA as well, playing in the Cégep, the college system in Montreal, in the Quebec area, as I hit the microphone 60 feet away. And that was my part-time job for 2 years of college in Montreal, was announcing sports.
Wow.
Some people wait tables at a pub.
Yeah.
Some people had to work at a grocery store. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I announced sports as a part-time job. That led to applying for the World Championships of basketball, which took place in Toronto and Hamilton in 1994, August of 1994. A bit more of a confused route than that, but I'll sum it up by saying I was accepted as one of roughly 12 announcers for those World Championships. At the end of the first day of the tournament, one of the other announcers was dismissed for reasons that I do not know. And because on my first day I had made a favorable impression, success is when preparation meets opportunity. I tell that to young people all the time. And I had an opportunity. I was successful because I was exquisitely prepared, thoroughly prepared, did the research, the pronunciations, the names. So they offered me the other guys' games too.
Wow.
So by the time the tournament was done, 2.5 weeks later, I had announced for 13 of the 16 countries.
Ooh, my goodness.
And that, again, connections that you're not aware of, but it shows you why you need to be your best every single time. That tournament was run by John Bittov's group and his partners, and John Bittov was the original principal owner of the Toronto Raptors. Wow. It was he and his group that were the ones that put in the bid with the NBA for a Toronto franchise. And so the guy who hired all the announcers for the World Championships, it ended up being part of his portfolio a year later to hire the announcer for the Raptors. So I kind of stuck my foot across the line and wouldn't let him shut the door.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Yes, and here we are in 2025, and I'm still looking forward to season number 31.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And going back then, you must have been just fresh out of college for that, right?
Yeah. So, I was a bit older.
Okay.
Because I graduated from high school in 1988. Okay. Shout out Malvern Collegiate. Yeah. And I went to college for 1 year, Humber College, 88, 89, go Hawks. Yeah. And then from 89 to 92, I worked full-time. I worked in the grocery retail industry. And while I was grateful for a full-time salaried position, while I was grateful for a benefits package, and I was only 20, 21 years old at the time, while I was grateful to be earning an income, a solid income, and lots of opportunity for advancement and entrenchment within the grocery retail. The problem was this: I didn't really enjoy my work. It wasn't
your calling.
It wasn't my calling, and it wasn't emotionally challenging. It wasn't fulfilling. No disrespect. There are people who enjoy working in grocery retail, and it is an awesome, respectful position. And for the people who do work in the grocery stores where I go shopping in, I always treat them with the utmost respect because I've been there. I was the first male cashier at the grocery store that I worked at on Coxwell Avenue in the East End of Toronto. Okay. So I've been there, but I wasn't enjoying my job. And I decided I needed to try something different. So I had the opportunity to step back and go back to school. And I will simply say this to your listeners: furthering your education is never a bad decision.
Never is.
And so I went to pursue my education, studied languages and literature at Vanier College. I became aware of Vanier College through one of my former customers at the grocery store who were from Quebec originally.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the announcing thing started. It's incredible, Tim. One day, I'm sitting in the sports complex, and a gentleman comes by. Your name's Herbie? Yes. I overheard you talking. You got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, you got the radio.
Would you be interested in announcing our school's football game this coming Saturday?
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he says, we'll pay you $20. I said, okay, I'll do it. And you never know how one day, one interaction can change the trajectory of the rest of your life.
No, that's an amazing story to share. And thank you for sharing. That's wow.
Yes. It's a good thing God knew what he was doing, because I sure didn't at the time.
He's got the best plans for all of us.
Certainly does. He certainly does.
And maybe we'll transition to some of that later. But as the first time announcer, were you shell shocked, or were you starstruck, or how did you adapt to all that limelight?
The first year with the Raptors certainly was a learning curve.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. There were a lot of moments. So, for example, our inaugural home opener, November the 3rd, 1995.
Yeah.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson,
Okay.
David Hasselhoff,
Yeah.
the Knight Rider, Meatloaf.
Okay.
You know, I would do it. Anyway, I'm not going to sing. All in the house. I believe Cindy Crawford, the supermodel, was there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around going,
oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. I've watched these people. I've seen these people. I've listened to these people, right? And now I'm announcing for them? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
And of course, I mean, the first time the Lakers came to town.
Okay.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
What? You want to talk about imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Do I really belong here? And then, of course, the first time we played the Chicago Bulls with MJ and Scotty and Rodman and Steve Kerr.
Oh my goodness.
And we beat them.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were a lot of moments in that first year where I was admittedly a little starstruck, to be sure.
Yeah.
To be sure. But at the end of the day, you need to understand, I needed to understand, you're here because you deserve to be here. You are here because you belong here. You are here because you're good enough to be here. So just do your thing.
Yeah.
Do it the best you can, where you've been planted, and let the other stuff unfold as it will.
Yeah. No.
And that's been my motto for 3 decades now.
Great life lessons for everyone that's listening.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
I know, you say that's kind of like, a joke. That's your part-time gig. So full time. How did you get into ministry? How did you get into that? And what's drawn you to that?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I came to Christ. I formed my personal relationship with Jesus Christ on November 3rd, 1996.
Oh, okay.
A year to the date after that first Raptors home opener. And for a period of roughly 14 months or so, mentored by other men, grew, attended church, listened to the sermons, Grant African Methodist Episcopal Church, 2 blocks east of Woodbine and Girard. That's where I made my decision for Christ. And then in January or February of 1998, I was invited to come and speak at an Athletes in Action basketball camp.
Oh, wow.
It's funny how Athletes in Action has always been part of my spiritual DNA. And it was run by a gentleman by the name of Bob Johnston at a camp in Pickering, Ontario, Bayfair Baptist Church, and it was their end of camp celebration. It was a Saturday morning. They'd be giving out awards, and they wanted a guest speaker. And he said, Herbie, I need you to come out and share. And I said, no, Bob, no, forget it. I said, why should I do it? He says, you're a Christian?
Yeah.
Yes, I can't argue with that. He says, you're a well-known Christian. I said, well, sort of. If you're a basketball fan, maybe. He says, here's what you do. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know what am I getting myself into? He says, here's what you do, Herbie. Pick a favorite scripture and tell them what Jesus has done in your life.
Wow.
So I couldn't argue with that.
Yeah.
So I showed up on that Saturday morning and I shared, this is how I lived my life before Christ. This is when I accepted Jesus as my Savior, and this is how it's changed my life. And by the time I was done, people were on their feet cheering.
Amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And then from there,
and these are kids.
These
right?
are kids, and parents.
Okay. Yeah.
And from there, it was, oh, Herbie Kuhn does speaking engagements. Oh, we need to invite him to this. Oh, you mean the voice of the Raptors? Put down.
Yeah. Multiply. Yeah.
Snowball effect, firmly into place.
Wow.
And that was, like I said, early 98. And then through a series of different interactions, we began full-time ministry in 2000, January 1st, 2000, with a small ministry called Voices for Life, which encapsulated numerous different initiatives, including sports, preaching, Gideon's Bible Society, numerous different things. But here's where the two come together. With the Raptors, we began doing pregame chapels with the Raptors in our second season, the 1996-1997 season, along with the aforementioned Steve Kearns. So Steve is the one who actually led the chapels, and I helped organize and pull people together, and I would basically sit at his feet and soak it up. So yeah, we've been doing chapels with the Raptors for 29 years.
Ooh. Okay.
Steve, full-time commissioned staff member of, guess what, Tim? Athletes in Action. And so eventually it came to pass in 2007, if I'm not mistaken, After 7 years on our own, we came to the realization that we needed to streamline things. The ministry was becoming far too diverse and spread out. We really need to streamline things and focus on sports. And so in 2007, we were invited to join Athletes in Action full-time.
Wow.
So therein began the wonderful, humbling journey of raising our salary and raising our support, which is what all full-time commissioned staff members of Power to Change have to do.
Wow.
In order to get paid, we need to find businesses, individuals, families, churches who love what we do and support us on an ongoing basis. So that took about a year or so to raise all of our support and be able to report as fully subsidized commission staff. So
Amazing.
We've been full-time AIA for closing in on 19 years now or so.
Okay.
And since then, it has evolved, obviously.
Yeah.
Began with the Toronto Argonauts in 2010. And then Steve and I, Steve had been doing some work with Toronto FC, has already for several years. I was blessed to be invited to join the fold last season, so 2024. So this is now my second season serving with the Toronto Football Club. And absolutely each of the three sports have very unique and distinguished qualities about them, and yet each of the three have so many common denominators, right? And there are different things that I love about each and every one of them. They're exciting and fun and challenging, and there are so many things that are similar. Like these guys are professional athletes, and they all have the same wants, desires, so on and so forth, struggles. And I really, 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 really enjoy what I do as a pro sports chaplain. It's great.
And thank you for your blessing over them, right? And essentially guidance to them too. Right? I think when you're,
it's spiritual life coach, something like that. But I really embrace the term chaplain. I can't give you the exact quotation here, Tim, but the roots of the term chaplain is from a French term, which it's actually a garment. A garment used to cover someone and protect somebody. And from that perspective, a chaplain being there to cover and protect and support individuals. Come on now.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Come on now. It's good. It's good stuff.
And maybe you can talk about some of that. Like, have you seen more and more athletes come use the chaplain services, or like, what's the ratio, or how popular is it actually? Because I don't think that's a known part about sports.
It's not well known. We actually prefer to fly under the radar. We're not seeking headlines. That's if we were doing that, that would be counterintuitive, counterproductive. It's very much. It's unpredictable sometimes. There are times where you will have, for argument's sake, let's use basketball as an example. There will be 1 or 2 seasons where you might have 1-2 guys showing up for pregame chapels. Sometimes none. Sometimes you're saying, Lord, please send someone from the other team, because in the NBA we do the teams together. We do the pregame chapels together with 2 teams together. And then you've got years like this past season where we had to go and get more chairs because we had so many guys coming in, where we had 8, 9, 10 players coming in, plus some staff and plus an assistant coach and so on and so forth. And when you combine our turnout with Charlotte, for example, we had 20-something people in that room for our pregame chapels. It's phenomenal. So it's very cyclical. You know, coming up, we've got the 2025-2026 season, and obviously, I don't know what the roster will look like, but if it remains mostly intact from last year's roster, then chances are very good we will have a solid turnout again. But who knows what the roster is going to look like 2 years from now, right? So it could get. I went with the Argos last year. I had 3 core solid Bible study guys from the 2024 team. 2 of them got traded in the offseason and 1 signed in the NFL. Boom. All 3 of my guys gone. I'm like, what happened? But God's been faithful, and he sent a couple of new guys who are strong, faithful guys who have stepped up as great leaders. And huge shout out to Herbie Mayala and Jeremiah Ojo. Two young guys who are well, Herbie's not a young guy anymore. He's been in the league for a few years, but Jeremiah's a rookie. And I'm so grateful for these guys. stepping up and taking up this role along with my second year player, John Bosse. So yeah, it can go through years where you have the chapels, where the Bible studies, where you got to grab more chairs, and other times you're sitting there looking at your notes going, well, sure, I'm glad I prepared this. Yeah.
Like with everything in life, right? It's
but here's the deal.
Yeah.
You show up.
Yep.
You show up and you be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared, show up. If people come, great. If people don't come, not great, but God is faithful.
God is faithful.
And he will bring them eventually.
Amen.
Show up. Yes.
No, it's an amazing story to have showcase, because it's with everything in life, right? Like you have up and downs through, businesses or through life and different challenges that we face.
I'm sure you've never had any dry periods in real estate. I'm sure you
never. God's been blessed. It's it's showing up. It doesn't, it's a key trait. I think a key kind of characteristic, right? That builds character, builds success. And no matter the situation, you show up, be prepared, do your work, no matter where you are in life, what level, whatever you're doing.
And with a couple of the sports, I have the honor of being there at their practices once or twice a week. And even if it's not a Bible study day, not a chapel day, you're simply there.
Yeah.
You're saying hi to the guys, you're giving high fives, you're giving hugs, you're talking to them after practice, maybe at lunch. Show up. The ministry of presence. Being there sends a message that you care. And that is an irreplaceable message in terms of sports chaplaincy. In terms of chaplaincy for any matter.
For any matter. Yeah.
Yes.
You're always being there. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk a little bit more about the Athletes in Action for our audience that don't know. What is the main focus, vision? What's the goal of? And for obviously you're working at the highest levels of athletes, but where in the spectrum do you work with as well?
So, Athletes in Action, it's a very, very simple concept. We exist to use the platform of sports to share the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
Yeah. Sports is a language. It's a common denominator, right? It's a universal language. There are very few things that can reach multiple people groups, multiple ethnicities, multiple religions as purely as sport can.
Wow.
Music is one of them. Art is one of them. If you take a soccer ball, if you go up to someone name that country and you say, hey, I want to talk to you about Jesus, you might get attacked, you might get kicked out. But if you drop a soccer ball and you say, let's play,
they go right away.
Off you go. You're building community, right?
Yeah.
And so we use this platform of sports for sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's not as easy as 1 + 1 = 2. You can't just do it immediately. Depending on the setting, depending on the surroundings, it takes a long time. So in the context of Canada, and if my bosses watch this after the fact, I hope I get it right. We have touring teams where we go and travel to different countries, different parts of the province, different parts of North America, different countries, and engaging cultures through sport, using a specific sport. For example, we had a women's soccer team that recently returned from a trip to the other side of the world. I'm not going to say the country, but where they were able to engage with the other side of the world. My colleague Steve was on a trip to the Seychelles recently for the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, where they were holding meetings and outreach events there, but also doing some chaplaincy there as well. We've had teams go everywhere, Ireland, Germany, you name it. So touring teams. We have our camps where 12 months a year, somewhere in Canada, there is a sport specific or multi-sport camp. It could be a camp that one of your kids has gone to, right? Where it's a baseball camp or a soccer camp or a hockey camp, what have you. We have camps right across the country, almost every season of the year. Again, engaging communities through sport. The families who might not necessarily come to church. Oh, but I can sign up my kid for camp. Sure. And you engage with them in that regard. In addition to that, we have the varsity ministry. So universities and colleges. In the same way that we support professional athletes in the pro ministry, we are supporting athletes, coaches, athletic directors sometimes in the context of varsity sports. And then we have the pro ministry.
Wow.
Which is where I get to reside for some crazy reason.
No, you're blessing others. So
I love Jesus and I love sports, so it doesn't get much better than that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Any kind of interesting stories you can highlight something about that you can share, or?
Oh my goodness. In terms of, you know something, Tim, one of my favorite things to do
Yeah.
in of all the roles that I carry out as a sports chaplain, one of my favorite things to do is at the end of the CFL football games, where we have see you at the center, where we meet at midfield.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful picture where you have athletes from both teams, different colored jerseys, all kneeling hand in hand in prayer.
Yeah.
Before basketball games,
Yeah.
when we are blessed to have members of the visiting team as well as members of the Raptors in our pregame chapels.
Yeah.
And at the end of the chapel, we all stand and we hold hands, and you've got whatever purple jerseys and you got the Raptors jerseys.
Yeah.
And it's everybody together,
United
in a common front, common denominator of faith. And to me, that's a really rewarding experience to be part of that. In terms of highlights, I can't get into personal details.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But seeing someone, the light flick on in the middle of a Bible study.
Yeah.
Or a player who comes up to you after a chapel and hugs you and says, "You don't know how much I needed that."
Yeah.
Those are you can't put a price tag on those.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding. It's so fulfilling. It's a lot of fun.
Amazing.
It's a lot of fun. I'm operating within my gifting in, delight yourself in the ways of the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I delight myself in the ways of the Lord. What did he bless me with? He gave me a voice. And I thank him, I honor him with my voice, and he has given me the desires of my heart, which he has created within me. How cool is that? He created within me to be involved in sports and to be able to use my voice. And here I am doing just that. I don't know for how much longer, but for the foreseeable future, at least.
Yeah, no, and it's I think he's giving you that calling, and you're excelled at calling, and you're just blessing others through what you do. So
thank you.
Kudos to that.
I hope that answered your question accurately as to talk to me about athletes in action. We also have, there's one other thing. Occasionally we have sports specific things like individuals. We have one gentleman who's incredible named Albert Martins, for example, who does marathons. He's a long distance runner. And so he's done some specific athletes in action initiatives through running. We have, every now and then we'll have something like that. We have a lady who used to wrestle internationally. She was a female professional, not professional wrestler, but like elite level international wrestler. So she's done some wrestling specific ministry. Those are more one-offs though. The other four that I mentioned are the more consistent year-round ones. Yeah, absolutely. I hope I didn't miss anything.
We can insert more if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the fans that are listening, maybe they're interested in a career like yours. What was the best advice you can give them to, venture into this?
There's no formula. Honestly, this wasn't something I went after.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I want to grow up to be a professional sports chaplain.
Yeah.
I had no clue. I did know that I wanted to be involved in sports. My mom, my late mother, the Lord bless her soul, she's the one that prayed, Lord, I want my son to be involved in full-time ministry one day.
Okay.
And God took my selfish prayer and my mom's kingdom-minded prayer, and he blended them together. My God has a sense of humor. For anybody who's interested in sports chaplaincy, which is obviously a very, very, very unique niche, what advice would I give? You need to stay humble. You need to know what your motives are. Because if your motive is so I can go and hang out and say that I was seen with so-and-so, then that's not the right motive. That's not the right motive. If your motive is so I can go and get a credential and go to these games and not have to pay, that's the wrong motive. You need to, don't misinterpret me. It's great to have that blessing. And I do receive that blessing of being able to go into TFC games and Raptors games and Argos games. I'll never take that for granted. But that isn't the specific goal. The goal is you need to care about people. You need to love the Lord. And as the Salvation Army so eloquently put it, love God, love people. Right? What are the first great commandment? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. What is the second great commandment? Love your neighbor as yourself. Right? So you got to love the Lord and you have to love people. You have to care. You have to have a degree of empathy. This is going to sound really terrible and accurate at the same time. I can hear about a tragedy on the news. Okay? Someone gets killed in a car accident.
Yeah.
Whatever. War. You name it.
Name it right now, yeah.
And I go, man, that's brutal. That's brutal. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hear about something terrible that happens to an athlete, and it's all I can do to hold it together.
Yeah.
Okay? There's something that God has put in me for athletes. I didn't come up with it. Other people, their calling is to the homeless.
Yeah.
Other people, their calling is to business people and everything in between.
Yeah.
And you need to have a God-seeded, a God-planted seed that allows you to cultivate empathy for those that people group, right? And it's not something you manufacture. It has to be natural.
Genuine, yeah.
And for me, when I hear about an athlete who blew out their ACL and they're out for the year, or I hear about an athlete got suspended because of performance-enhancing drugs, and I just go, oh it hurts my heart so badly. And I think, I wonder if they ever had a chaplain to talk to. Yeah. Right? You hear about so many relationships in pro sports where marriages fall at the altar of pro sports and the commitment required for pro sports. Yeah. And I go, oh, that breaks my heart. And so you need, that's a long answer to your question. You need to really, really care. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to have the gift of gab. It doesn't hurt to be a confident speaker, because you have to be able to lead Bible studies. You have to be able to facilitate chapels. Yeah. And you can't be
can't be shy,
guessing your way through the whole thing, because people will tune out in 3 seconds. Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing the insight, because I don't think that a lot of people kind of realize that. They just kind of see and hear you and, okay, amazing that he must be having a great time doing this, obviously.
I do,
but
it comes with its
heart. Yeah,
it comes with its challenges. One of our TFC players earlier this year is Achilles, right? Blew his Achilles. He's out for probably the better part of a year. Yeah. Another player torn hamstring. Another player rips a ligament in his ankle. And I want to, I hold these guys. Yeah. And I want to weep with them. I want to weep with them. If you don't want to weep with someone, then you probably shouldn't be involved in their lives. As a frontline minister, as a frontline chaplain. If you don't want to weep with someone, then you probably shouldn't be involved in that particular that particular segment. Yes.
No, great words of advice for that. And how you talk about faith and you became a believer. How has this role helped you even further advance that and further?
Well, it certainly keeps me on my toes, because I have to share it, and I have to teach it, and I have to preach it. It keeps me on my toes. It definitely, I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly evolving in my approach to ministry, my approach to teaching, my approach to facilitating a Bible study. Yeah. I have to make sure that everything I'm sharing is, bang on, lines up with the scriptures, 110%. And I actually will tell guys at the beginning of every year, hold me accountable. If I tell you this is what it says in such and such a book, chapter, and verse, don't take my word for it. Yeah. Double check it yourself. Cross-reference it. Yeah. I tell the players that at the beginning of every year. Yeah. Don't trust me. I'm a man. I make mistakes. I don't ever want to make that mistake, but I can make mistakes.
Yeah, we're all human.
And I've heard people, I'm not going to throw names or anything like that, but it drives me crazy when people will take a verse of scripture, twist it so it suits their purposes fine, or adjust the translation without acknowledging that.
Okay.
I gave a sermon.
Dangerous, yeah.
I gave a sermon about a month ago where I read a particular scripture. I was reading about blind Bartimaeus, and I gave a response. I said, by the way, previous to this comment, I've been reading from the New Living Translation. What I'm about to say is the Herbie Kuhn International Version. Jesus, stop right there, please! Right? So I make sure they know.
They know, yeah.
I make sure they know. But don't ever try to twist the scriptures and say that that's what it actually says. You got to be on point. You got to be on point.
No, rightly so.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. before we kind of end up our time, like, how do you keep your voice so fresh and energetic all the time? I think that's one of the big questions our audience would
You have
like
to
to
take
know.
care of it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Mhm.
You have tools in your toolbox.
Yeah.
You got to take care of them, right? Anybody out here who drives a car,
Yeah.
car requires
Maintenance, yeah.
maintenance. You need to take care of it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't redline it the whole time. Otherwise, the engine's going to burn out.
Yeah.
So during the basketball season in particular,
Mhm.
I have to be far more selective in terms of one of my crutches.
Yeah.
One of my go-tos is spicy foods.
Oh,
I
okay.
love hot spicy foods. My mom was from Guyana.
Yeah.
I love my spicy food. Yet, because of the high acidity, it affects my voice.
Okay.
Alcohol, apple juice, tomato juice, things like that. Milk, very phlegmy, right?
Yeah.
Anything that makes you go too often can be problematic.
Okay.
So I try my best
Yeah.
to be disciplined 24 hours before and 24 hours after any Raptors game.
Nice.
I'm not always successful, but I've also learned how to go full effort without having to go full volume.
Okay.
And that's a skill.
Key. Yeah.
That's a skill. First 2 or 3 years, I blew my vocal cords out a couple times. There were times season 2 and season 3 with the Raptors where I had to step back and let someone else do my job, which I hated. Because I couldn't, I didn't know how to. Raptors! I grind it way back here. Can't do that. I can't do that.
Okay.
So you got to figure out a way to be full effort.
Yeah.
Without going full volume. Yes.
No, that's the key.
Without damaging the key.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's good.
Hey, it's my money maker.
Yeah, you got to protect it.
You got to take care of it. Got to take care of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't lie. Sometimes you're tired, right? If you got back-to-back games, or if I got a Raptors game one day, then I'm doing a Bible study the next day, and I didn't have a good night's sleep in between, you can hear it. My wife, she's the best. She's like, no, you. I could tell you had this to eat.
Yeah.
Just you know. She's like, I could tell you didn't have a good sleep because she could just hear it.
She can hear it. Right?
She has to put up with it every day, though.
So it's pretty much like a high-level athlete too, right? You got to prepare.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So
100%. Absolutely. Except they get paid a lot more.
No, that's a very fascinating tip. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As we wrap up our conversation, I don't want it to end, but I know you're pressed for time, and you're a very busy man. So thank you very much for coming on board.
It's an honor to be here.
But what is the one feature you'd like to find in your dream house?
One
feature you would like to find.
I would like to find.
Or do you already have it?
In my dream house. What element would I love to have in my dream house? What dream element would I love to have in my house? Tim, that's a bang on question, man. And I think I'm gonna have to go with this one. I would love to have an outdoor theater of some sorts. This may sound kind of greedy, but I love being outdoors.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, particularly when you're watching football and baseball and soccer, outdoors, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go sit in the basement.
No, of course.
I don't want to sit in the basement when it's 23 or 27 degrees outside.
Yeah.
I want to be outside. But I want to make sure the connection's good so there are no glitches in the thing. And I'd like a couple of comfy seats, maybe an awning, so if it starts raining or whatnot, and a little mini fridge out there to reach my beverages. That's I think that's fancy.
Yeah.
That's fancy without going overboard.
Yeah.
That's fancy without going over. That's luxury without uber glamorous. Yeah, I think that's a fair request for a kid from the beach.
Absolutely
Born and raised in the beach. There you go.
Definitely, there's a few listening. I think I can probably send you. So.
Sounds good. As long as they're east of Toronto, that's all I gotta say. As long as they're east of Toronto.
Yeah.
Very good.
The other one you kind of touched on, but what's the one type of food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Okay, I'm gonna go with one cultural and one personal.
Okay.
The cultural one is curry shrimp and roti.
Curry shrimp and roti?
My mom.
Nice.
That's what you call not just food for the stomach, food for the soul.
Yeah.
Fresh roti, the flaky paratha. I don't like the dal puri, the paratha roti with the shrimp and roti, and then it's good. It's gold.
Die for. Yeah.
and personally, I'd have to go with pizza. I'd have to go with pizza.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a great quality pizza with lots of meat and lots of mushrooms
and a crispy crust.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I could have pizza a couple times a week and not get tired of it. not get tired of it.
You must have tried a few joints during your career here.
Oh,
Any shout outs to any particular ones?
I have enjoyed so many different kinds of pizza, and I am going to refrain from any personal shout outs simply because the Raptors have a corporate sponsor, and I will just simply leave it at that. I will leave it at that. I've been in this game for a while, Tim. I've been in this game for a while.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
Exactly.
I got it. Okay. No, that pretty much wraps up this week's episode of TimSold Talks. Thank you very much, Herbie, for sharing.
Thanks for having me in the house.
It's been a delight, and I could listen to you forever. And hope that continues as you venture out and do your thing with Athletes in Action, and help all the professional athletes out there.
Thank you.
Where can our audience reach out to you or find you if they wanted to learn more about Athletes in Action, about you, and anything that you
Athletes in Action Canada and Athletes in Action Toronto both have Instagram pages.
Yep.
And you could always message them. And if you really want to get hold of me, I'm also on Instagram, Herbie Kuhn. I'm not very good at responding to messages quite frequently or regularly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's best that I don't respond to them. So that's one way of checking out. I don't post very often. I'm not addicted to that.
Yeah.
Other than that, athletesinAction.ca, if you want to find out about what the ministry is doing and what things we're involved with, that's the best way to check out athletesinAction.ca or P2C.com, P2C, the number 2C.com for the wider Power to Change ministry. That's actually a very, very important point before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Power to Change isn't just Athletes in Action. We have Drama Ministry. We have Global Aid Network. We have a Leader Impact Ministry for business people. Yeah. There are about 10 different ministries all operating underneath the Power to Change umbrella. And so your sweet spot might not be sports. It might be something else. Connecting Streams, for example, Ministry to Women, Campus for Christ, the Power to Change students. There are so many things out there. And so pursue so many different avenues. It's a good thing God's not exclusively interested in sports alone.
He's got many interests, everything. Yeah.
I think sports might be his favorite.
It's most entertaining. We'll be sure to put all the links in there so everyone can find out and use those resources for to find out their own callings, and hopefully you'll journey with them. One night's that.
I want to encourage young people out there, honestly, young people out there who are looking for a future, and if you love Christ, why not consider a full-time calling in ministry? It's not easy, but it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. The corporate ladder's got its spot. Full-time work, in another vocation has its spot. But why don't you consider ministry? Prayerfully consider that, as there are fewer things that are more rewarding than serving the Lord.
Amen to that. So,
amen.
If you enjoyed today's episode and looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, you know who to call. But if you're looking for some more rewarding work and, some more...
Your work is rewarding too. You get to help people find their homes, man. That's pretty awesome.
But you're going to help them find their place in the kingdom.
There you go. Their eternal home.
Eternal home over there.
That sounds good.
Please give us a like and follow, and review us on Spotify and all our different socials. Remember, guys, dream it, believe it, achieve it. It's a beautiful day to sell homes. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for Herbie for coming and sharing your wonderful story.
My honor to be here, Tim. Thank you. Lord bless you.
Hi, I'm Tim Kern, and I proudly lead the TimSold team. We're voted as one of the top 3 brokerages in Markham, and we will sell your house fast and for top dollar with the least amount of hassle, or we guarantee to buy it. Call us today and start packing.